Hello and welcome to What If Asta Had Ulquiorra's Powers Part 4, The Last Straw. You can already tell this is the last part. If you haven't, well, this is the last part. Also, I hope you enjoyed that video with my friends, but I'm still thinking about the Navy. It's still a good opportunity. I'm a trial. I really don't care. It's worth the shot, you know? They give you a lot of opportunities. I'm gonna take it. But, until then, I'm still gonna push as much as I can after this. Immediately, actually, I'm gonna tell you guys now. Set your timers to about 1 hour as soon as you finish this video. It's not gonna be the same for everyone. But as soon as this video finishes, I'm gonna post what if Ichigo had the Sharingan 1 hour later. Alright? It's a promise. I swear I'll do it. Alright. Let's start with the recap. I really hope you will enjoy this. Have fun and yeah, let's begin. We last began with the Golden Dawn taking care of business and dealing with their possessed members. Asta and Yuno stay behind while Alec, Mimosa, and Bonjon's going ahead. Yuno was possessed, but he still was able to retain his his consciousness. Eventually, he chases down some elves to Hodge, and Asta will then split everyone's soul out of their, bodies with the elves, and then he heads to the capital. There he attacks Zagreus and tackles him into the Shadow Palace. They fight and fight. As some people arrive, however, Asta was taken over by rage and loses to Zagreus. He's then allowed to meet Murcielago and take he can make peace with the Asta who he had melded with despite being a devil to begin with, and this gives him the power to resurrect himself, Resurrection, and gain a new form. With this form, he easily beats Zagreus, and the Shadow Palace will then shatter. The elves soon leave. Everything is cleared up. Sekiro and Lumiere split up. While she just stays and he dies, and the festival is soon made to bring us out a semblance of peace. There, Asta shows off his sword spirit, and the royal knights are announced by the king, the annoying king Augustus. Later on, even though Asta and Yuno were invited to train with the Crimson Lions, Asta actually stays to work on Sekirai's trial because she was thought of to be using forbidden magic. And the next day, Sekirai is rescued by the Black Bulls and Asta from execution. She's brought into the Black Bulls. Minato leaves bitter along with other nobles in the court, and he goes to say something to Yuno. Asta goes to Yuno before he then heads to the Diamond Kingdom. On the way there, he meets Luck and Magna, and when they arrive, they're put in a fight between the Diamond Kingdom and Zenon as well as his Dark Disciples. Asta will then raise and morale everyone by killing many Dark Disciples with his Bankai, and Asta then heads to the palace where he interrupts the fight between the King of the Diamond Kingdom, who I will for all intents and purposes just be calling Grimmjow for simplicity's sake, and of course Zenon. Now, upon being told that Asta, for all intents and purposes, was going to help him, Grimmjow readies to join in when Asta will then disappear in the blink of an eye, sending Zenon flying through the air and to the skies. And as he does, he enters a 20% state, and Asta chases right after, but then he's attacked from all sides by blades made of bone and hardened by mana. However, swinging Murcielago about, Asta will then slice through them with ease, and the two will then stop above the clouds and are illuminated by the moonlight. You shouldn't have a reason to help these people, so why are you here? Zenon asked. Those people, those innocent citizens, don't deserve to be killed for the choices of its king. What a naive thing for a devil to say, Zenon states. He then goes 50%, and pointing Murcielago forward, Asta will then say that he's human as they come, and he and Zenon become entrapped in a spatial type of cube, allowing Zenon to attack from literally everywhere. However, he didn't account for Asta's sword spirit, which allows him to create and control many flying blades as he wishes. As he sees this, Zenon is then blown back as the blades then rip through his magic, which shouldn't be possible, and before him then appears Asta, who swings down. In that moment, however, it wasn't just his blade, but his very spirit that manifests in the form of a gigantic sword, which would disrupt his very soul and that of Beelzebub. But the strike was so perfect and swift that, just like the other ones, he didn't hurt Zenon's actual body, he just hurt his soul, and his unhurt body began to fall and catch heat like a comet. Down below, the body of Zenon crashes, and this catches the attention of everyone, when Asta will then appear at the very center of everything and declare that the user of Beelzebub has lost. Wait, Lord Zenon was beaten? It can't be. As the Dark Disciples are demoralized by this, some catch a glimpse of the smoke and charred body of their leader, and this allows the Diamond Kingdom to destroy and kill them while Asta has Murcielago exit his body. Not bad. Know-how of the Spade Kingdom and the Diamond Kingdom. You two, how would you measure up against these Dark Disciples? Julius asked. They were super strong. We kind of won because they were demoralized. Even Captain Yambi would have a hard time, said Magna. Hearing this is quite distressing news, but now everyone had 4 days left until the tournament began, so they had time. Julius suggested they get strong as they can. I look forward to your performance. Oh, except for you, Asta. Asta is surprised to hear this. He then asks why, and Mars would then say, as if your recent shows of power, it's been decided that you're too strong. Getting nervous, Asta would then say Alec is going to be so mad at him, but Julius would then say that they need to even the playing ground or it would just turn into a massacre. Asta has no choice but to stay out, and he would then head out with the two before they go their separate ways. Now, as he walks the streets and heads back to his base, he would then hear someone call him out, and he would be able to tell it was Mimosa, who approaches and says, Welcome back. Hi, why are you running from me though? Come on, everyone's waiting, she would say, and she would grab Asta's arm and drag him until she flies, and Asta would then follow. She would be confused because they sounded urgent, and when he arrives at the base and lands, he is met by Von Johns, who would then just, be smiling. He's okay, he's getting out, and he would then ask, "Sir, did another attack occur?" "Oh, what? No, we just need you for training. You're Garganta. Seeing as you're not participating, I'm putting you in charge of that." Then that means, yes, everyone knows. Don't worry, Alidor is not mad. Follow me. Mimosa and him then follow as she then asks how Spade was, and my bad, how the Diamond Kingdom was, and Vondra's ears would then perk up as Asta would then say that he faced the one that used the elves. "Wait, really? And you beat him?" asked Mimosa, and Asta would say, "Of course, but he is extremely powerful. It's because of my innate soul magic, but if I didn't have it, I would be destroyed in an instant." Hearing this from Asta makes the danger more present, and now the two know what's waiting. So as they arrive at the main hall, everyone is waiting, and they say hi to Asta, who would open up the Garganta, saying, "I have something different in mind for today." He walks in and everyone follows, and to find a whole nother sky and a whole nother world before them, and it was filled with sand and dreary skies, and seeing the magnitude of the space left him baffled at how much his magic must have gotten, how much stronger it must have gotten. "Well then, who wants to begin?" Asta asked. Slowly walking over to the entire area, people were just like, checking things out, and they feel that everything is made out of magic, and they would ask if it was true, if it was made out of magic, and Asta would say, so yeah, it was made out of magic. If anything was destroyed, it would just be regenerated. So perfect. And would then begin to rise in mana that would just go through the roof, catching everyone's attention, who slowly begin to rise their mana as well, including Vondra's himself, who would then say, "No matter how, we will win with skill and power. Do you hear me?" "Yes, Captain." "Who are we? The Golden Dawn. Why are we?" "Because we will bring a new dawn to the Lokover Kingdom." "Let's show everyone, alright?" "Yeah." Quickly riled up by these words, everyone would then begin to split up and look for partners, while immediately goes with Asta, and as they walk to a free area to unleash their powers, would then ask, "So how do I compare to that guy? He'd kill you if I didn't kill him already. I guess we're gonna have to fix that." Oh, and we missed visiting home. Realizing they had a day off to do this, Asta would then panic, saying they need to hurry and train so they can go at least today, and with the nod, would then follow as they fly off. We will now cut to Hodge Orphanage as it will be night and everyone will be gathered at a table to eat when the door is then knocked down, but they also recognize the magic on those on the outside, and running from his seat, Nash and the other kids will then go to open up the door and see sweating Asta and with bags in hand. "Hey, sorry we're late," says Asta. "We're gonna spend the night." "Awesome, right?" says Hugging them, the kids will then say they miss them so much, and kneeling to them, the two will give them just hug all around. And Asta would say, "Harley, did you grow?" "Yep, 2 inches, he would say as he holds up 2 fingers and ruffling his hair. Asta would look to Lily and Orsi as they ask how they've been. "We should be asking you guys that. I barely made it in time," said "We're managing, but I guess you guys can help with the cleanup," said Lily. They said of course and are dragged to the table to eat something, and they lay out their bags and they just dig in. They talk a bit, tell them about how things have been and how they become friends with everyone at their squad, and night would then pass. As Asta is the first to wake up, usually like always, and he would then walk to the church, and he entered it to find it looking the same, but Orsi was actually present. He woke up before him, and sitting at the front, he was over there, just kind of praying, I guess, and Asta would then go and sit beside him. "Good morning, Asta." "Good morning. I miss coming here. I wish you could stay longer." "No, things need to change. I know that you know that better than anyone. I've never seen you smile so much, and unironically too. Yeah, I forget a lot about myself lately. Did you know I actually like hanging out with people?" As Orsi laughed, he answered that's good because he finally learned to appreciate companionship. It's all I ever wanted for you. "But can you do something else for me?" "You never asked anything of me, so yeah, what is it?" Turning to him, however, the father said, "Can you die?" Taken off by these words, Asta would then turn to see Orsi's entire left side taken over by a black-like substance, and as he unsheathed Murcielago, Orsi would disappear and appear a few feet away. "What, are you really gonna kill your pops?" asked Orsi. "Megakula, why are you doing this? Why here?" Her magical presence that oozes from Orsi, who for a moment would then regain control of his body and falls to his knees in excruciating pain. However, Megakula's blood magic would then spread markings from around him, as he would say, "Asta, run away." Opening his arms to the sky, he would then release a blast of blood, right as Asta would then appear before Orsi, and using his banka, he would then stab into the devil user, Megakula, who even from her home would be affected, as Dante would then run into her room and find her gagging on the floor for life. "Why aren't you healing?" "That kid, his sword stabbed that old guy and somehow it reached me. Help!" An explosion of mana, however, then blows Dante back as Megakula is then ripped apart, as well as Vanica, covering the room with dust, blood, and guts. Dante then blows it away with the gravity before he then walks into the room and is left horrified because she is literally everywhere. Dante is a prideful man, and the worst thing a human can do is kill someone, and while originally he would have, dug that, this involved his family. The voice of Lucifero creeps into his ear as he shakes with anger, and he says, "I want to make a deal." Devil King then smiles as we return to the church, and villagers would storm the area to see Asta holding up Ursi, and they ask what happened, but Asta would say that he would explain later. "Let's get him into a bed, come on." Quickly, everyone then make way and point him to, the nearest place, aside from his home, because the church is very far away, and they put him in a bed. Luckily, Asta's sword only hurts the soul, not the body, so he'll mostly be fine, but having a devil take over you is pretty straining. Sister Lily uses her magic to try and heal him, and the father will go into a deep sleep, or we'll go back to the Clover Kingdom. There, the attack on his family is told to Julius from Asta, who was then kind of compelled to make a request. "Let me go to the Spade Kingdom." "No." "Can I know why?" "You just kill one more member, and we don't know what could happen. I'll kill him and return with the victory. Or her, I don't care. Plain and simple." As Julius looks at Asta, however, he asks if he will let his anger cloud his judgment like before. They hurt your family. First tried to take over and now they did this to the man I assume you consider your father. I can't imagine anyone would feel calm after that. Clenching his fist in his back, over his back, he's just holding his two hands to the back. Asta can feel his anger swelling up, so much so that he wants to explode at any point. "I want to kill each and every last one, no matter how many of them they are," he said. "It's good that you're being honest with yourself. But no matter how much the enemy wants to get back at you, they'll be building up their forces like us. They're not stupid. You will get your revenge." "Thank you, sir." Saying there's no problem, Julius will then say that his father must be waiting for him, and with a nod, Asta will then head off as we actually have a time skip. But Asta never did get to go back to Ursi. He was too kind of entranced in training. We will go a few days later to the beginning of the tournament as mages from all squads gather, and they're all excited to be present and are ready to show their skills. As Mimosa, Klaus, and Yuno gathered up, Klaus will then say, "I can't believe we're really gonna be watched by Asta like he's some supervisor." It's just like in the training though, during the last days, he kind of turned into a freaking training sergeant, said Mimosa, as they all shuddered at the thought of how he acted, but Klaus would then ask how their father was. "He's fine. He just annoyed him and Asta never got to finish their talk." "Oh, you guys are already here." Hearing the voice of the members, they would then turn to see the rest of the Golden Dawn arrive, and people would make way for them as they could feel the change in the mages. "I won't tolerate anything but perfection. Even if you end up fighting against each other, you must show your skills," says Eladora. They all agree to this, just as Julius would then make himself known, and the attention turns to him as he would explain the rules before he then had the teams announced. However, at that moment, from above then drops the last mage in the competition. However, as he falls toward Julius, beside him and Marston appears Asta, who releases a pressure of Ryatsu, but only as Zora. It's more control in this version, and he would then say, "Holy crap," as he crashes to the ground, and everyone gasps as Asta would then grab the mage and throw him down, and he would then land and skid back. "Oh, you gotta ruin my fun, huh? Because no one cares what you have to prove," Asta would say. It's really him," people will be saying. Vanjas then makes his way out along with the other captains as William would then say, "Try to calm down." "Sorry, sir." Seeing him up with the captains just gathered around him made everyone realize that he really was at that level, maybe even above. But the little moment is interrupted by Augustus, the king, who would then make his way up saying, "Yes, it is your king, my people." His entrance does bring him some applause, but not enough, which leaves him annoyed as he feels diminished by the other captains because they got like the looks and the cool factor. However, before he can say another word, Marilyn will then make her entrance. "Listen up, you little maggots. We're going to play a little game called Crystal Hunt. I designed it myself." They all get nervous in her presence and her magic as the king will then say, "Who do you think you—" "What do you want?" asks Marilyn as she stares him down, and retreating into his own little shell, he shuts up as Faluna will then sigh, wondering if she knows she's scaring the king. "If any of you idiots try to pull what that one did over there, I will broil you alive. Got that? Alright, Kobe, open the portal." From below then walks out a spatial mage who would then create a giant portal, and he tells everyone to go through it, and they would. They then find themselves looking down at their battlefield, and behind them would then follow the captains, who would turn to face them, who they would turn to face right as Marilyn would then have Mark show the lineups, which left everyone present ready for the battle, right as the first battle is then deployed. Freaking annoying bastard, harshing my vibe, thought Zora. Now I have to work with some nope. He then feels a piercing stare from his back and shivers as he turns to see Asta, who would then give off a smile, which makes him look away instantly, leaving Asta confused. "I was trying to show a simple gesture," he said. "Really? Then you suck," says Yami, as he laughs about it, and the young mage would then be left annoyed, while he then saw other captains trying to hold back their laughter as well. "Oh, he's really cracking up the captains. Awesome. It wasn't on purpose. Can we get on with this, please?" says Asta. "Yeah, of course. Alright, let's begin," says Julius. Now, I will not focus on all the battles. I'm here to focus on only one. In this, things are less spiteful, less mean-spirited, until Langris ends up facing his brother. The mana of the spatial mage just rise and rise and keep rising until he starts to kind of leak an eerie energy. He's kind of turning dangerous. "You are never gonna beat me. There isn't one thing you can beat me at, Fernro," he states. "Well, I'm still gonna try," Fernro said. Langris he's not being himself. He's just a little bit mad, but this is out of hand, yells Etoile. Everyone was too late, however, as volleys of mana are sent at the two from opposite sides, and they collide with different spells. And when everything clears, Finral and Leopold and Haman had lost their crystal. But worse than everything, Langris was laid on the ground filled with holes from, well, Langris's magic. My bad. Finral, I forget, my bad. Finral laid on the ground filled with holes from Langris's magic. Finral! That bastard! As Langris approaches Finral, however, he doesn't hear Julius say that everything is over and to stop, and continues to walk over while he charges his magic, and in that very instant, beside him appear not only the Black Bulls, but Asta, Yuno, and Aladora. Move one more step and I'll rip your freaking head off, said Luck. That's enough, Langris, said Asta. Noah meanwhile would check on Finral, and in anger, Langris would then ask that Magna and Luck get their faces out of his. Don't think just because you've been on a streak that you can. Did you not hear me, Langris? For the first time in a long time, Asta's reaction would reach all those present and fill Langris with so much fear that he became tight-lipped and terrified. Do your bullshit elsewhere. Maybe you're crazy enough to hurt your own blood, but they consider him family more than you do. Watch yourself. The reactive pressure would then calm down, as Mela would then be gasping for air and reaching for air desperately, and she had never in her entire life not want to fight someone more than ever. But that didn't mean that she wasn't interested, it's Merleona, you know. Now all their guards are then dropped, and Julius would then arrive along with Owen, who would then quickly heal Langris while he brings him up to the medical ward, and Aladora would then say, consider yourself lucky that Sir Vantas is kind. I'm starting to wonder if you even care about the Glora squad. The Bulls quickly left, and Finral would be, okay. And Luck was meant to fight Langris next anyway, so he got up in his face saying, I don't care what your issue is, I just want a good fight. I'll kill you. However, Langris was too toned, kind of zoned out, because in his essence, even an elitist like Aladora has completely changed from who he still is. I'm the only one who's still the same, he thought. Time would pass, and the matches start and finish on a kind of bitter end, because Langris essentially forfeited, and he barely fought back at all, and won everything in the end. And at the end of it all, Langris would then lay in bed, just battered up, and in then walked Finral. What the hell do you? Shut up. Shut the hell up, said Finral. I realize why you never learn anything is because I'm such a pushover, and that's on me. But shut up. Just shut up and listen. Sitting beside Langris, Finral would then say, I'm not going to be who you want me to be, and you can't be the one that mom and dad wanted you to. You have issues, and they didn't start with me, so I'm not going to act like they did. I'm going to get stronger. Now, you can't decide just to push everything on me. Decide what you want to do, but we are still brothers. But until you get it together, just stay away. With these simple words, he would then make his way out, but despite that, Langris then notices him holding back some tears, making him want to just destroy everything. Damn it, everyone's getting on my nerves. Stop acting like you care, you stupid big brother. This would be the first time that Langris had shed genuine tears, and it was just tears of anger. She was just annoyed, confused, feeling bad, guilty, maybe even. And Vantas then walked in, saying, ready to go home? Yes, sir. Good. Time skip a day later. We open up on Dante, who has sold his soul, his body to the King of Devils, allowing him to grant more power to his dark disciples, and a day had come for him to attack. Marching forward with his army from the Spade Kingdom, however, Lucifero's eyes were blinded by dust at that moment, and everyone else was as well, and soon he then came to face all the captives, right as Asta would then make his way through. There you are. I see you brought some friends. I figured that maybe the only way. Save the small talk, said Asta, as he unleashed his sword. Bankai. Spirit die, full assimilation, yells Yuno, as he would then enter the full power of his wind magic, while everyone would then power up as well. But Asta had gained a new form. He wanted to show to, the king something specific. He would then point to his chest and open up his robe to show the number 0. What does that even? In that moment, he's then ripped apart by Murcielago, as a massive release of gravity would then set the disciples flying, and Merlin would then yell, charge! With the battle cry, they all attack and release a massacre instantly. The Dark Disciples didn't even stand a chance in terms of own power. And we see, then hack through a bunch of them like they were butter, while Asta does the same before them meeting him back to back. I've been meaning to ask, what does Father Orsi want to tell me? Did you hear it? As he releases a spirit storm, would then say, I quote, one day I hope you'll have so much that you'll never have to beg for it because you deserve it. End quote. I agree, says Thanks. I really do have to go visit. Yeah, dude, you gotta say some goodbyes at least. Well, I'm sorry, I was dealing with devil issues. How was I supposed to know? Die, yells the disciple, as he then attacks from behind, but ripping him to shreds. The brother says to shut up and begin to fight with even more power, while arguing and bantering, and yet they have the biggest smile on their faces like kids just running around and playing tag. They then fade to black. We will not open up on the father, Father Orsi, at the ripe age of 80, as he sits in the same house, but much more comfortable surroundings, when in then ran an orange-haired child. "Grandpa, come outside and play." "Oh, Chemo, you pay me a visit?" Sitting out of his seat, he would then pick up the child right as Mimosa and Asta would then walk in, and the mother would then say, "Sorry, he had to tell him to calm down, but he just wouldn't listen." "He gets that nonchalant attitude from me," said Asta. "Well, don't be so proud of it." "Let's go, it's fine. I need to meet my grandbabies." He then walks out following the two to see the new Hajj. A Hajj reconstructed and meant for people, not just for commoners. It was rebuilt years ago with the money Asta and Yuno had saved up, and with Yuno discovering he was a prince and he's now a king, he's pretty rich. He and his wife would then actually be sitting by a bench watching their son named Mio playing with the other kids, only to stop when Chemo comes into the picture. As he is let down by Orsi, both the boys would grow and erupt with mana and anger. "I can't stand him." "Me neither." "Okay, they definitely didn't get that from us, right?" said Yuno. "You guys fought?" asked Yuno's wife, and for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna call her Inoue, because why not? And the two would then say, "What?" "No," simultaneously, and the father would then watch as everyone just got along, and everything just felt right, you know? Tell me down below what you think occurred to the other characters, and I'll tell you the truth. Have fun. This series was good, but now it has ended, and so time has come for What If Ichigo had the Sharingan. But it's been Prince of What If, signing off. I'm gone.